All right, you know what time it is. It's the David Washington Show, a bonus episode just for you. With friends like these, and I'm specifically talking about Joe Biden and what happened on July 21st, 48 hours after he said that he was staying in the race for president. That Sunday, we got a tweet, an email, a post, however you got it, but you heard that he dropped out. On July 25th, 4 days later, he decided to tell the American people officially and formally that he's passing the baton to the next generation, that the Biden administration has accomplished so much. So why drop out? I took some time to kind of just let all the punditry, all the comments and opinions just kind of, you know, flow through the internet. Just spit it out. Let the hoopla kind of die down before I made this. I pretty much had, made up my mind what I wanted to say. But I just wanted to make sure that there was any context to the president's announcement that I was missing that I need to be aware of before I make this recording. So it's July 29th, approximately a week and a day after the president announced that he was leaving the race, and approximately 4 days after his formal withdrawal address to the nation about him leaving. And now the baton is passed to the next generation of Democratic leaders, Vice President Kamala Harris. And let me make this very clear right now. Just like President Biden at the time of him letting us know that he was in the race for the long haul, just like him, with my prediction as things being static at that time, that he was likely going to win the 2024 election. We could go into all that stuff. We could talk about the keys to the White House and everything else that I base my decision on. However, this applies to Vice President Kamala Harris in her campaign to become president. Right now, July 29th, 2024, all things remaining the same, static, she's likely to win the presidency. That could change. That can change between July 29th and November 5th. So let's just make sure that I'm not saying for sure it's likely because of quantitative historical data and facts. But that's what I said. But back to President Joe Biden. And I've gotten some comments about this. And first of all, I'm disappointed because I was, riding with Biden as the Democrats' nominee, as I was riding with Trump as the Republicans' nominee for president. But how Biden exited the race, I don't think it was the polls. I don't think it was, voters. I think it was the donor class. It was the donors and certain elected officials who pressured the president to exit. And many of these donors and electeds were trusted friends, associates, confidants of President Biden. Again, Biden was the guy you brought to the dance, Democrats. We knew how old he was going to be in 2024 when he was nominated 4 years ago. We knew that a man of his age would have some difficulties. And it was nothing new. People were acting, oh my God, he's older. Oh my God. Oh. I mean, he went back on the campaign trail after that disastrous debate, and he was on it. He's 80 something years old. What do you expect? Superman? But the Democrats to throw their sitting incumbent successful president under the bus? It makes you wonder about loyalty in the Democratic Party. It makes you wonder about their commitment to the democratic process. Now, granted, their process of nominating their, presidential candidates and everyone else, it's their process. But to change the process in 2020 and in 2024 to a point where it favors Joe Biden and then abandon him, yes, abandon, betray him and his supporters. Damn, that's some Chicago politics shit right there. That's cold blooded. And that's politics, everyone. This is politics. And for those of you who plan on going into politics or are new to politics, know who your friends are. And of course, know who your enemies are. Sometimes you need to keep both your friends and your enemies close. But there's no loyalty in politics. There really isn't. And for President Biden to withdraw from the race, okay, it's done. The presumptive nominee is Kamala Harris. There's so much excitement. She's in the honeymoon period. This is definitely the honeymoon period right now. Wait until the conservatives, the Republicans, Trump and his campaign start digging further into her political history and personal history. It's going to get nasty. And I expect the Democrats to at least walk up to that line. There's one thing about the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats, you wish they had more of a spine. For the Republicans, you wish they had some principles. So we'll see how the Harris, Shapiro, Harris, Kelly, Harris, Bouchard, Harris, whatever the vice presidential pick will be. We'll see how they respond or if they go on the attack, if they're proactive in addressing the flaws of the Trump administration. Project 2025 would take you so far. Again, I'm frustrated hearing all that stuff because we've been talking about it for a year, August 1st. So everyone's catching up. And again, speaking of Project 2025, you could just go so far with that. And, people are going to be spooked, scared about how the Democrats describe Project 25. Hey, people, just read it for yourself. Determine whether or not that meshes with you. But Project 2025 has already started. Look at what the Supreme Court has decided in these last, at least these last two terms. Roe v. Wade, Chevron deference, Dobbs decision, EMTALA. presidential immunity. Project 2025 is already here. And Schedule F, Google it. Schedule F, if it wasn't for a Biden administration to cancel and revise the executive order that Trump had in place prior to him leaving the White House in January 2021. Project 2025 is already here, people, and you all need to be engaged. You all need to wake up. You all. Yeah, I'm talking about you and you and you and you over there and you right there. Get engaged, folks. If that's a concern to you, educate yourselves. Do your homework. Do your own damn research. Don't just listen to me. And on the other side, you look at what the Democrats have to offer. Another handout, more division based on class, race, gender identity. There's so much here to talk about. But there's got to be a middle ground. There's got to be somewhere where we all agree, or at least come closer to agreement. Not everything's going to be resolved by a presidency. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations at the local level. Do your damn research and look at those local candidates, local officials who's running for reelection. That's where the decisions are made. That's where your kitchen table issues, whatever they are being addressed. That's much more important than the top of the ticket. Back to Joe Biden. And this has been debated with me a number of times, and there's some comments that I need to respond to on our social media platforms across the Jay and Washington network. I've encouraged, and if I was working directly with the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, I would encourage President Biden to resign and allow Vice President Kamala Harris to become president and start the work of being president, Madam President, now. Some people push back, say, "Wait a second, why she has to prove herself?" No, it's not a matter of proving herself. Being the incumbent has its benefits. It gives you a leg up, and it lets our allies and our foes internationally understand there's a new sheriff in town. And whether Vice President or Madam President Kamala Harris, if Joe Biden resigns, continues the Biden administration foreign policies or domestic policies, it's incumbent upon Madam President Harris to set her own agenda, to set the path forward internationally and domestically. Give her a jump up on former President Donald Trump. Why not? Joe Biden is pretty much a lame duck. Later today, he's supposed to make an announcement in regards to reforms at the Supreme Court. Okay, that's great. That's something that a Madam President Kamala Harris can carry forward. If there was such a danger to our democracy, an existential threat to our democracy, as the Democrats and liberals say, then why is Joe Biden there if he's unable to run for re-election or considered unable to because of his health? He's passed the torch already. Let's go. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Every moment that the Democrats sit back and give the impression that everything's okay. And I really don't want to hear about, well, campaigning and being president is tough. Let her just campaign. Well, wait a second. Didn't you just kick Joe Biden off the campaign trail? Because, wait, she's give her the keys to the White House. Let her run the show. Let's go. Don't you all have confidence in her, President Biden? Let it go. Let it go. You served your country well, 50 years. Your legacy is going to be awesome. Let it go. Let's see what Madam President Kamala Harris can do. Let her run the show. Be the president now and win this. It's every day that passes. It's every day of doubt, especially someone like me. I'm a political. And giving ammunition to the Trump campaign, because he's been president. He knows what it takes. He can speak to it. And to talk directly to the people who said, why does she have to prove herself? One more thing. And some of you may not remember this, maybe too young or whatever, but in 2008, during the Great Recession, I remember, oh man, I was with my family, and I remember all the attention to this issue. And President Bush was termed out, and in my opinion, had no idea what his administration was facing with the Great Recession. And there was a political campaign going on. John McCain for the Republicans, Barack Obama for the Democrats. And I remember President Bush and his cabinet, Treasury Secretary, all of them bringing both campaigns. They paused their campaigns and they met with the president to talk about how to deal with the pending collapse of our markets. Heard from McCain. What he said did not instill confidence. But then we heard from Barack Obama. It made me what he said made me feel hopeful that if he becomes president, he's got it under control. That he's plugged into the necessary resources and authorities to soften the blow of the Great Recession. The rest is history. If Donald J. Trump is an existential danger to democracy, let's call on, Democrats should call on their champion, Kamala Harris, to face that danger right now. This is politics. I'm a Chicago Democrat. I see things at different angles, in different spaces. This is quite the election cycle, and there is so much going on that it's difficult sometimes to wake up and realize, oh my God, there's something else going on here. I need to get aware of it right now. But I try to keep up, and I hope you're keeping up too. And I appreciate the fact that you appreciate what I'm providing to you Again, don't trust what I'm saying. Do your own homework. Do your own damn homework. The information's out there. We're living in the best years ever for planet Earth, and I'm glad to be a part of this experience, this journey with you. So, do a brother a favor. Please like, share, hit the notification button. Our platform has been blowing up across all the major social media channels. And I really do appreciate it. As the CEO of J.M. Washington, it's been a phenomenal election cycle so far. And I can't wait to get right back to it right after I'm done, with this podcast, talking to a couple of candidates, setting them straight, getting them out there, close out this August 20th election. We are, oh my goodness, it's the 29th right now. 20 days. Well, actually, election's pretty much over during the vote by mail and early voting, early voting will start here in Florida in about maybe as early as next week, as late as, a week from now, another week from now. So 2 weeks. So it's there's a lot of incredible contests going on, a lot of incredible people. We're going to see some careers of some good people end in August and, of course, in November. So we're going to keep up with all of this and keep you aware. And again, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate my community, part of the J.M. Washington Network, Ubuntu. We'll see you the next time. I'm David Washington, and this is the David Washington Show.